thank you. That was great. It's very appropriate. You mentioned Dr. Desser, who's an oncologist at Ingalls. And today we're giving the Dr. Desser Spirit of Life Award. And because Dr. Desser was so committed to the cause, long before people even thought about this connection between mental well-being and physical well-being, he was ahead of his time, and he worked so closely with all of you to see this happen. And so we're very honored to be able to give this award every year. And this year is an extra special year because it's actually someone from Ingalls Hospital where Dr. Desser was. So Susan Fine is our award recipient this year. Come on down. So this lady here, how many years have you been working with the center? Maybe you don't want to say.
Oh, no, I would love to say, actually. No.
It's been many years. But before, I'm going to let you talk in a minute, but I just want to say a few things about you. Susan's actually the Director of Marketing and Communications at Ingalls. And some people might say, she's not a doctor. But here's the thing, and why this is, even though it's kind of a medical award, why it's so important for her to have it is Susan's always made an effort to truly connect the patients of Ingalls with the center. She was the one who knew that it would make such a huge difference in the lives of Ingalls patients that she used her position to make sure that that bridge happened. And she's worked with us over all these years. I think you were one of the movers and shakers behind Ingalls opening up our center in Mokina. I mean, do people know? Ingalls paid for that for 5 years. Like, paid for it, for us to be out there. They saw the vision and the need for us to be there. And this lady was one of the ones kind of behind the scenes making everything happen. We all know those people, right? Behind the scenes who actually make it happen. She was one of them. Our Us Too prostate group that we had for many, many years, we always had 30 to 40 people because you were constantly referring people. We would bring you get special doctors in. She made such a huge difference using her role at the hospital to make sure that people suffering would find the strength and guidance. It's true, you're amazing. And what makes her even more amazing, if it's possible, is she's a survivor herself. And she's done this throughout her whole journey. Seriously, she has been remarkable. And so we are so fortunate to have you in our lives. And we're just so grateful for you helped model for us what we could really do with hospitals. We wouldn't have known that there was this option, an opportunity for that partnership, and you taught us that. So we are so grateful, and we give you this award today to honor that.
Really lovely, sir. I'm a little overwhelmed by this. I wasn't given the instructions ahead of time about the 2-minute rule, but I think I'm going to.
Oh no, you don't have a 2-minute rule. You just go.
I think I'll take a second. I am overwhelmed. I am so glad that Dr. Desser was recently mentioned, because having heard the name of this award certainly does evoke a certain type of individual. His name is on our breast center now because his family has continued to be philanthropic as well and cares about the mission and cares about the patients and having the best for everyone. And yes, I've always felt that these kinds of services were so important for our patients. And frankly, Ingalls has always loved and supported working hand in hand with the Cancer Support Center because we know we can't do everything. We feel like we do a pretty good job at what we do, but we can't do everything. We can't do all of these groups and classes and just being there to hold hands. It's so important. So we try to hand off as often and as regularly as possible to people who need these kinds of services, and it really is so important. So this, I mean, and one of the other doctors that Judith mentioned, of course, I have to give a little credit for having kept me alive.
Seriously, seriously.
All of you talk about it too. Stage 4 ovarian cancer, pretty terminal diagnosis. That was 7.5 years ago. Dr. Kozloff likes to take just a tad bit of credit for that. But you know what? I've worked every single day through that. And you know what? That's one of the other kind of awesome things when you were talking about the years. The reason I'm so kind of excited and proud to talk about that now is, what is it? 4 or 5 days from now, I celebrate my 40th anniversary at Ingalls. Yeah. Now, they used to take people straight out of junior high, so that...
I was wondering how you're going to spin that. That was good. That's good.
So I like to say that I have kind of been around since the beginning of the center, and then some, and I'm not going anywhere. I live to go to work. I live for my grandchildren. Every day is a blessing. This spirit of life thing is no joke. It's the way you should live anyway. A serious diagnosis sometimes brings that to light a little bit more and makes you a little bit more conscious of that, of course. But don't wait for that. If you can help but do that, don't wait for that to catch that spirit, because it really, really helps. No matter what happens, really, just living until you know. Just,
exactly.
Yeah, so.
And I just have to point out that her husband and her mom are here. Stand up, because that's so sweet. Come on, Mom. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it.